Alright, I'm going to do a quick little video here on having your WiresX Node, if you're a node owner, automatically start up. And every week we want it to do a weekly reboot and log back into the program. So there's a couple things we're going to need here. Naturally, we're going to have to set up a task that performs the weekly reboot. I personally like it about Sunday at 3 a.m. Then also we're going to need a way of, at the reboot, to automatically log into the server with your user account and password. And after it logs in, we need WiresX to start up automatically. Now, some of you may have already set it up. In the setup, when you first install it, you have that option. So some may not have to set that part up. But that's the main goal there. We want to, on a Windows system, we want a weekly reboot. You can set it up monthly, however you want to do it. But this is going to be the main goal of this video. So the first thing we want to do is we want WiresX to auto start every time we log in. To do this, at the point when you install the WiresX software, most of us have the option, all of us have the option, of creating a shortcut on your desktop and putting it in the startup folder. If you've already done this, you can just about skip this whole little presentation here. Not the whole presentation, this little first task. If you haven't, don't fret. Don't reinstall the application. All we have to do here is we'll drill out here to the local disk, and we go to Program Files. This folder right here, Yeso Musin. Have a WiresX folder below that. And this YMLAN application folder is the one you need. Just need to create a shortcut, and pops up a little warning. Can't create it here. Do you want to put it on the desktop? Of course. That's where we want it. Click yes. At that point, you will have a shortcut on your desktop. Now, we want it to auto start upon a logon. There's two ways you can do it. You can do it for per user, or you can do it for every user. I prefer, since should be the only one using this laptop, but there's two ways. I'll show you both. One is right here in the run command, just run to shell startup. Now that will run with your user account that you specify when you start up. I'm logged in here with my account. It will start with my account. If you want it for every user, which I prefer, you put the common startup, and this will automatically take you to the startup folder. Now I've already have it already placed here for an auto start, but all you would have to do is copy that shortcut and then paste it, which I don't want to. I already have it. Now you have it in the startup program folder. It's that simple. Now every time you log in or anybody else logs in, your WiresX software should launch. Not everybody's running Windows 7. If you're one of the lucky few that have upgraded to Windows 10 and 2016 is around the corner, I'm sure it'll be somewhat similar. If you can't find that run window there on the right here at your start button, the Windows Start button, right click it, click Run, and by the way, the shortcut for that is the Windows key and the R key. You should be able to type there the shell : startup to get to your folder, or shell : common space startup, and you should be able to take that right to that. As you can see, I've it kind of surprised me there. I put it on a virtual machine already. So same kind of step, but if you're having a hard time finding that run window, It's actually just labeled run. So I thought I'd better show that. Some people may have a problem with that. Okay, now we have the WiresX to auto start when we log in. The next step is we need to have the PC auto log in with our username and password. Now Microsoft, sysinternals if you will, has a nice utility for this. It's free. We come out here, you can Google it. If you Google auto login sysinternals, it will be your first hit right here. You can download this. As you can see, it's only 70 kilobytes. It's not a huge file. The beauty of this little program is it hides the credentials. You can set it up manually, as most IT people know, and they probably know about this little tool. But it shows your username and password in the registry. To me, it's kind of a moot point. If you get into the registry and see the you know where I'm going with this. So, but it is nice. It's a nice little utility. Download that utility. In my case, it puts it in downloads. Go back to the downloads folder. It'll be zipped. Right here's the zipped folder. You can go and extract all, and it places it right here in the auto login. Creates a folder that you can see the zipper's not there. It's not zipped. You got your end user license agreement, your EULA, and you have your auto login application here. Double click that, and it will come up with the user. Hopefully I don't reset it, but we'll see. It comes up with a username, an elite book, and a password. Yeah, it looks like it wants me to redo it again. I'll redo it. We hit enable button. It's auto login successfully configured. Done. That simple. Now your PC, when you log in, not when it reboots, your PC will automatically log in with your username and password every time it reboots. Now, from a security aspect, I have to make this disclaimer that I don't recommend this. I don't like it personally on any PC that has any information that I'm worried about. In this case, I have an EliteBook Pro here, HP EliteBook notebook. Nothing on it I'm worried about. At the worst case, I have to load some FTM software for the programming in the FT2D, and I have to reload WiresX. Not the end of the world. So, for the convenience here, I'm just pointing that out. There is sacrifices on the security side. If it's on your, what I'm going to call a production network and not isolated from that, I may have some reservations on that. Typically, I try to set this aside on a small little router all by itself for the stuff that I'm not too worried about. But anyway, now I have a PC that when it reboots will auto log in and start my WiresX program. Next, what we need to do is get it where we set up a task to auto reboot. Alright, last task that we have to complete is the reboot. For this we have to create a scheduled task for the reboot. We're going to go into all programs, accessories, system tools, and task scheduler. Scroll this scroll bar. Now I have a weekly reboot already set up. As you can see here. So let's create a new task just for demonstration purposes here. We'll create a task. We'll call it the weekly reboot 2. And pretty much set a default settings here, run only when the user's logged on. That was an error because I didn't finish it. Triggers. We're going to create a trigger. Basically what's going to happen when we hit this date at this time. Let's set it for Monday, a different time than my weekly reboot. And pretty much everything else can stay the same. We're going to go to an action. What do we want to happen when we hit that time? We're going to start a program. In this case, it's going to be under System Windows 32. Let me get past the folders here. I can simply hit S, and I'm looking for shutdown. Right here. We're going to open that file. It's going to put it in here. See Windows System 32 shutdown. We don't really want it to shut down, so we're going to add an argument. That argument is -R, which means reboot. Don't shut it down. Let's reboot. And we're going to hit the space bar, and we're going to hit -8, or I'm sorry, -F, which means forcibly close any programs that are open that would stop a reboot. You can do the start in optional, which is basically where does this program start at, and that would be the C Windows 32. You don't have to do that. Hit OK. And we should have a task here that's weekly reboot 2 right here. Let me open that again. Conditions, settings. So basically I named it. I added a trigger, which is the date and time. And the action is the program that I'm going to start. The conditions, start if the AC's on, stop if it's on battery. Pretty much default. Since I'm using RDP, I'm remoted into my laptop here because I have the screen capturing software on my Mac. I'm going to run this. I'm going to have to start a new session and show you what happens. I have to take out my video camera and show you what happens on the other side. But I'm going to show you what happens when I run this. Immediately it says, got 1 minute shutting down. Now this is just a test. It's showing without waiting for that time and date. I just ran it. It basically ignores the date and time. And it's going to run this task to make sure it works. So in a minute, this should shut down, and at that point I will have to break out I'll lose my RDP connection here, and I'll have to break out the video camera and show you what happens after the reboot. Okay, we're going to try to simulate running this task and try to let you see the full results here. So we're going to run this task. As you can see, it's going to shut down in less than a minute. If I run over here to my laptop, it was connected via RDP, so it locked the screen here. But you're going to see it shut down, restart, and auto log in and start WiresX here. And there goes the shutdown. Here comes the reboot. Starting Windows. The auto logon script is running. It's going to log in with the username and password. And there we are. We're at the desktop. WiresX is starting. And at this point, it's connecting. I actually have the software set to connect to the MinWiz room, so that's something you can set up in the software under your file settings on the WiresX software. Nice, little added feature there. When it starts WiresX, it's not only going to start it, but it will actually connect to a room. And there we go. It is now connected up to the MinWiz room.